You can kill people from out of their own vehicles, which is really awesome. It's kind of difficult to do because you have to shoot right in the pilot seat. But one of the best things I ever did in Battlefield 4, which is not this game, but it's a little bit... Oh my gosh, I think I just shot it down. Yep, I shot the... Oh my... Can I shoot this guy down? Yes, I got it. Secondly, unbind safety mode. For some reason, you can put your gun on safe. That means your gun can't shoot. So you're never going to want to hit that key ever. So hello gamers and welcome back to another BattleBit Remastered video. Today I'm doing the ultimate beginner guide for BattleBit Remastered. This will cover stuff that no other video is really covering, which is detailed settings. And the first thing you're going to want to do when you join the game is join the shooting range. And preferably, I want you guys to join the shooting range right now with me as you're watching this video, because then you can just do all these settings and things live, because this is the best way to get good at the game even before you get into the game for the first time, because that's very important, because you can get way better at the game just by going in the shooting range and figuring out all your settings. So first we'll talk about the gameplay settings and then controls, key bindings. If the game is just running terribly for you right now, just go straight to here and click potato preset or low, medium, high, ultra. It doesn't really matter. I play the game on ultra because the game runs perfectly fine for me, but I have a pretty good PC, so it's not going to be for everybody. If you have a bad computer, this game will probably run at least decently, you know? You're going to have like the worst computer ever made if you can't get more than like 20 FPS on potato settings, because this game runs great. It's a really easy game to run. But yeah, for your first settings, you're going to want to go into your hit markers and change some of this stuff. Your hit marker volume, you're going to want to actually lower a little bit. So turn down all your hit marker volume except your kill one. And I'll get into why in just a second. So keep your default hit marker like this. Your headshot hit marker, make it like red, and keep your armor one on blue. And secondly, for these three as well, you're going to want to reduce the duration of your hit markers. And that basically means if you get a hit marker, it'll go away really quickly instead of staying on your screen for a little bit longer. And then the last one, and I've not seen anybody talking about this, but this is the number one thing that you should be doing in this game, in my opinion. It's not the number one thing, but it's one of the biggest things you should be doing, is changing your kill hit marker to something like very easy to see. For me, it's green. And also, can you guys tell the difference between a normal hit marker and a kill? I'll show you guys. So 1, 2, 3, and then really loud. That's very important. Turn your kill hit marker volume up to 10 or whatever is really high for you, and then increase the duration by a little bit as well. And that basically means like, hey, you gotta kill. Hey, you gotta kill. Hey, you gotta kill. People don't just like despawn in this game when they die. And it doesn't really tell you that well. It'll show that little thing down there that tells you if you gotta kill. But if you're not looking directly at it to know, it can be kind of annoying. But now you just know that you gotta kill. And I don't know why it's not running my good M4 setup. I don't know why it does that, but this is a not good setup. And then for this stuff, this really just depends if you're playing with friends or not. I recommend you turn your Steam friend color and party member color to about the same thing, so that way if you're playing with your friends, you can see them way easier. Other than that, you don't have to change anything if you don't want to, unless you want to make the enemies a different color or something like that. And you could add show FPS if your game is running really bad, and you can turn up your ping size if you really want to. Don't turn it to 500, but it could help you a little bit. I keep mine on 100, but you could increase it by a little bit. All this stuff is just crosshair settings and stuff like that, even though it doesn't really matter that much. Wait, hold on. Let me just see this. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. The crosshair doesn't really matter in this game. You can change it, which is kind of cool. Like, I could make it purple, but actually none of this stuff really matters that much, because you can only see your crosshair when you're actually sprinting. And if you can actually shoot, it goes away, so it doesn't really matter. Now, this is one that you should probably get rid of as well, toggle map. Because if you're using M key, you're going to get stuck in your map sometimes. I don't really recommend you use your map at all, really. I'll explain why later. Next up, there's some stuff that you should probably keep in mind. First off, toggle dragging players. Turn that off. Second off, all three of these, you can turn them on or off if you want to. They're off by default for these three, and then you can change your sensitivities for all your scopes and stuff like that. The only thing you really need to change though is toggle dragging players. Turn that one off. I'll talk about why in just a second. Now for keybinds, there's going to be a few things that you should probably be changing. This is up to you on how many mouse buttons you have and things like that. I put my leaning on mouse button left and right, and that really helps me lean very easily while I'm moving around, which is something you should be doing, because Q and E can be used for many other keys that are very helpful. And personally, I don't think the best key to be running or leaning is your E and Q keys, but that's just my opinion. Some people do keep those. Next thing you're going to change though is vaulting. You're going to want to have jump on space still, but vault on something else, because as you can see here, if I vault over this, oh look, I'm shooting in the air. That's annoying. But if I jump over it, I can still shoot. Now, vault is a hold key, so if you're holding X, as you can see, I'm just vaulting over everything. But this way, I can jump over stuff that's pretty low, and then jump and then vault for other stuff. Like, this is going to be really helpful for you. It's really nice because you can jump and then vault stuff, which is really broken. And then free look is really cool. This is alt, and you don't have to change this one unless you want to have alt on something else, but it is really nice because you can look at your arms. It's weird. Now change drag players to probably E instead of F. It doesn't really matter what key you put it on, but it needs to be the same as first aid or reviving. The reason for that is now you can hold down E to bandage yourself or to res or to drag people. If you have both of those bound at the same time, normally you can only drag or revive somebody. You can't do both, but now you can do dragging and reviving, which allows you to run around as you're resing people, which is really nice. You can drag them to cover, or you can just move around, because if you get sniped in the open, you can run around while resing your teammate, which will allow you to avoid getting shot in the head, which is really nice, because normally you'd have to stop moving, and even going prone isn't going to save you in the open. Now for weapons, you need to be changing some of this stuff. So first off, combining magazines, keep that on a different key than P, because normally it's P, and basically what you have to do in this game if you want to conserve some of your rounds, if you're low on mags, is hold down P, which is really far away, but Q is really close to where your left hand is already, and you can make it anything you want, but I personally use the Q key. Secondly, unbind safety mode. For some reason, you can put your gun on safe. That means your gun can't shoot, so you're never going to want to hit that key ever. So unbind that right away. Just unbind it. Literally don't bind it to anything, because it won't matter. You don't need it for anything. It's terrible. And turn your laser on and off to something else if you want to, because if you're on night mode, you're going to want it off, but just forever. And if it's daytime, you want it on forever. You're not really going to be like switching on and off really quickly, so you don't really need to have that bound to anything that really matters. You know what I mean? And most importantly, fire mode. Now, fire mode sounds like a good idea, but let's just look. Semi-auto. Okay, that's pretty nice. Full auto. It's the same thing. It's literally the same thing. Sometimes you're going to fire an extra shot, which might be annoying to some people, but honestly, I don't care. I don't want to change my fire mode. Some people accidentally change their fire mode. It's normally V, I think, which is really freaking close to where you're actually going to be putting your hand. And sometimes you're going to end up in semi-auto or burst and just die. So just keep that on something else. What you could do after rebinding first aid is change your secondary or first gadget to a different key or a different number key. So that way it's a little bit more easily accessible. I'm surprised this actually breaks here. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. And I know this does damage, right? Hold on, can I hit him? I gotta check if this actually works. I'm pretty sure you can hit people with a sledgehammer. There's literally like skins for this if you get enough kills, but you can't even hit people. It's weird. Maybe you cannot hit the dummies, but that doesn't make any sense either. Last up, we have video, and for this one, you really only have to change 3 settings, which is your FOV. You're gonna wanna put these 2 on max or whatever you want, but I prefer maximum, and turn off screen shake. That's it. Other than that, you can change all your graphic settings if you really want to, turn off shadows, stuff like that. The game will look worse, but run better, and obviously, like, that stuff is super self-explanatory. If you want to turn off shadows, there won't be shadows. I don't know. It's not really something that needs to be explained. But now let's get into a real game. So there's 3 types of games. 127 versus 127. 32 versus 32 is going to be the least chaotic and crazy. Unfortunately, there aren't any lobbies I can get into right now. It's going to take a while. So I'm going to join 172 versus 172, and these are the easiest servers to join in the game, of course, because they're never going to be really full. You can't really keep 250 people on a game at once because people are going to be leaving and joining all the time. Now let's spawn into the game and really talk about what you're really supposed to be doing in this game. Now, this game has a ton of different game modes, but the main thing here is you're on a big map, you're running around, there's a ton of players, there's vehicles, and I guess I should talk about the spawn system. So you can spawn on any control point that isn't flashing. You can spawn at your team base, as well as any vehicles that are there. Some of them have, like, this one has an M2 Browning 50 BMG machine gun, which is awesome, but also you have these squads here on the left. And definitely join the one with the most players, because that way you can spawn on your teammates. You can't spawn on any teammate, just your squad mates, so just keep that in mind. You can keep switching between all these teams until you find a good one. Like this one, I really want to find somebody on that team, because then I'll get a really good spawn, which will basically be in their backyard, but I'm not finding anyone, so I'll just spawn on this guy. Then you have the 5 different classes. Now, I do recommend medic, but do watch my video on all the classes. I can't really talk about it in this video as well, because they are pretty complicated classes with their own little special perks and different stuff that makes them different. But if you don't want to watch that video right now, just pick medic. Select your gun. Also watch my starter guns video, but just select the M4 if you really don't want to watch any of the videos. But I do recommend you watch those 2 guide videos, because they will help you quite a bit. Oh my gosh, this is a terrible spot. You can pull out engineer if you're in a situation like this where you just kind of gotta spam RPGs and stuff. Yeah, you're on a massive map. You're trying to take all the control points usually. You can see them on your map by pressing M, but also you can just see them all around you. Just go to the nearest red one. That's all I kind of recommend. And figure out how the maps work and try to flank people and stuff. And oh my gosh, this is such a loud lobby. These guys love their tanks. It is so fun to not be able to hear anything. There was a guy up here, right? Oh, he's dead. Normally this game is not this loud, but it's normally pretty loud, but this is the all-out warfare 172 versus 172, which is why I do recommend 32 on 32. It's going to feel more like your average Call of Duty type game, except of course you do have those magazines in the right, which basically means if you reload, it's going to switch out your magazine and you're going to get a new magazine from the rotation. It doesn't teleport your previous bullets into your new magazine like other games, and you can hold R to completely drop your magazine altogether, but do keep in mind you're going to have to pick that back up or you're going to lose all the remaining bullets in that magazine. And as you can see, I just combined all my magazines together, which will allow me to consolidate my bullets, which is why I do recommend that you make that key more accessible than P, because you're going to do it basically every single life that you survive more than like 2 fights. And yeah, use the M4. It starts with a red dot sight. I have a 2x on mine, but you're not going to have all these attachments. This is a really, really good build for the gun, and I don't know what is going on with this lobby. There's kind of a story to every single match you play in this game, and those stories are based off of like the kind of characters that you're going to meet in the game, because there is voice chat. You can look in your keybinds to check out your voice chat, but I think it's Y for all chat. That's the one you're going to want to use. T is your squad chat, but it doesn't matter. You're going to want to use proximity chat and talk to random people, because that's the most fun thing you can do. Can I hit this guy? And if you join a game late, you're going to be like, what the frick is going on? Can I shoot this guy down? Yes, I got it. Once you find a gun you like, if you can't really figure out the recoil, you can just, you know, go in the shooting range and just play with the gun for a while, figure out all the recoil and stuff like that. It helps a lot. It really helped my recoil control to go and test all the guns in the shooting range. One of the biggest tips I can give you is run medic, but then if there's a car that's really annoying you, pick the engineer class and then press 6. You get an RPG. You can shoot down a helicopter if you're really good. I have shot down a helicopter a few times, but you can kill people from out of their own vehicles, which is really awesome. It's kind of difficult to do because you have to shoot right in the pilot seat. But one of the best things I ever did in Battlefield 4, which is not this game, but it's a little bit... Oh my gosh, I think I just shot it down. Yep, I shot the... Oh my gosh, that was awesome. Yes, you can do that. He's trying to actually fly the helicopter again. You're not getting away with that, dude. I'm gonna see if I can C4 this. Aw, it ended. And then hold tab if you want to see your ranking. I went 6 and 3 and I got 5,000 XP. Yay. But listen, guys, that's all you really need to know as a beginner. If you're not doing good, just keep playing. Playing 32 on 32. It's a lot less chaotic. Oh, there's a little chopper in the corner. That's cool. But yeah, this game is really freaking difficult if you're really new to FPS games especially. But if you're new to a Battlefield tactical style game, if all you played is Call of Duty, you're gonna do okay, but you're not gonna do that great. You're gonna get beat by those people that know how to play tactically, hang back a little bit, flank better, not just run in with a submachine gun or anything like that. It's going to be pretty difficult, but once you get used to it, this is going to be really, really fun. Like I said, I have plenty of videos on my channel that will explain a ton of different stuff in this game. So if you're still a little bit confused, go watch those videos. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Have a nice day.